Okay, so good morning everyone. So I'm Ivan C. De Castillo from 1B ECD major in science. So today we're going to discuss what learner with physical disabilities. So learner with physical disabilities is a types of disabilities. So there are four subtopic, also known as the hearing impairment, visual impairment, speech impairment, and multiple impairment. So these four types of physical disabilities is hinati ko ito ng partner ko which is si Eljan Diket. So kumbaga dalawa kami, hearing impairment, visual, so hinati po namin. So today we're going to discuss the learners with physical disabilities. So alam naman natin kung ano yung mga learners with physical disabilities. Okay, so first is let's discuss about the hearing impairment. So ano nga ba yung hearing impairment? So hearing impairment is a partial or total inability to hear. It means that when we say hearing impairment is it could be both or partial or total inability. When we say partial is something na hindi po yung totally na maririnig po natin. So and totally inability, it's something na hindi talaga tayo makakarinig. Yun po yung pagkaiba ng partial or total inability to hear. Kumbaga, total partial is nakabilong po siya sa hearing impairment. So tinawag lang siya na hearing impairment para kumbaga hindi siya gaano ka kumbaga ano siya pakinggan. So yun po yung hearing impairment. So in hearing impairment, IDEA 2004 is the updated version of earlier law, also known as the Education of the Handicap Act, Public Law 94 to 142. So the first law is also known as Education. It is updated into the IDEA 2004. Ano nga ba yung IDEA? So IDEA means the Individual Disability Education Act of 2004. So this IDEA, it is promoted into the new version which they are going to recognize the hearing impairment and deafness as a separate disability categories. So na-recognize nila which is the hearing impairment and deafness is a separate categories. Hindi po siya isahan. So, ano nga pa pagkaiba ng hearing impairment at deafness? As I mentioned earlier, hearing impairment is something impartial, no? So, doon natin makikita na recognizes as hearing impairment is a partial or partial lang na hindi tayo makarinig. Which is the deafness is opposite side. So, deafness is inability to hear talaga. Ito talaga yung masasabi natin na wala silang maririnig. So, yun nga po ang pagkakaiba ng hearing impairment at deafness. So, ano nga yung pagkakaiba ng hearing impairment and deafness is, as they recognize the different both separate disability categories, they promote that all of children with hearing impaired is receive and free appropriate public education. So, this FAPE, also known as FAPE, is, ito po talaga yung main focus na marireceive ng mga those children with disability to access the quality education regardless of their disability. So, you know, so the first idea is recap is IDEA 2004. It's a new version of Education of Handicap Public Law 94 to 142, which is they recognize the hearing impairment and this deafness is separate categories. So the main focus here is to receive and free appropriate public education. Okay, so let's talk about the four major types of hearing loss. So ano nga ba itong mga four major types of hearing loss? So these four major types of hearing loss is dito natin matutunan kung ano talaga yung mga pagkakaiba. Kasi minsan we often say that those children with hearing impaired is we usually call as one, but it has a different main causes. Kung ano yung pong mga something, the organs that can't mention alone. So, number one is also known as conductive hearing loss. So, ano nga ba itong conductive hearing loss? So, conductive hearing loss is the key points here is something damage or blockage in the outer or middle ear. So, as you can see here in the picture, so, may makikita natin na there are 2 X and 1 check. So, ito considered as the outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. So, conductive hearing loss is the blockage or may damage po yung outer or middle ear. So, it means our outer and middle ear can't function. So, hindi po yung function. So, kung Itong dalawang ito po na makikita natin, kapag hindi po ito mag-function, it means that hindi po yung makakapasok yung something na may maririnig natin dito sa ating inner ear. So, that is conductive hearing loss. But, it is also temporary or treatable with medical care. So, na pwede itong something na ma-treatable pa po. So, yun pong conductive hearing loss. The main key points here sa conductive hearing loss is damage or blockage in the outer or middle ear. So, the only function here is that inner ear. So, number 2 is sensory neural hearing loss. Okay, itong sensory neural hearing loss, it is the opposite of conductive hearing loss. So, mapapansin natin sa conductive hearing loss, the only function of our ears is the inner. While the sensory neural hearing loss, ang nag-function dito is the only middle and the outer ear. So, it is caused by damage to the inner ear or cochlea or auditory nerve that transmits impulses to the brain. So, it is also opposite, which is sensory neural hearing loss is severe and permanent. So, only main cause here is something aging. So, the main cause is here aging. Syempre, habang tumatanda tayo is may mga organs pa na not totally function. So, yun yung pong sensory neural hearing loss. So, ano nga yung first is, the first is conductive hearing loss and sensory neural hearing loss. So, these two is partly opposite po talaga. So, kung ano yung nag-function sa conductive, yun naman yung hindi pumapunction sa sensory neural. Ang conductive is something not permanent or temporary, while the sensory neural hearing loss, it is permanent and severe. So, dito makikita natin the conductive versus sensory neural hearing loss. So, okay. So, the main causes conductive is just like fluid conductive na main causes kasi maaring masisira po yung ear natin. It's because something na may ginagawa po tayo na minsan hindi natin malaya na nakakasira na pala ito sa ating tainga. And then, ito sa fluid, the main causes of conductive is, as you can see na, for example, na maliligo tayo sa dagat, and then something na may pumasok na tubig, diba? Mapapansin natin na something humina po yung paninig natin. So, that's main causes of conductive hearing loss. When we say the sensory neural hearing loss, it's caused by aging, ototoxicity. Ano naman yung ototoxicity? Ototoxicity is something chemical na or substance na we intake when it comes to our daily lifestyle. So for example, drinking alcohol, cigarette, so makakasira po yon pala ng ating tenga. So that's main causes of sensory neural blast or explosion or tumors. So the both is it can be caused by genetic disease, viruses or infection. So yun na po yung it can be both. So pwede siya medical treatment or pwede din po siya na something may mga technologies na ginagamit. So so ito po talaga yung pagkaibahan ng conductive and sensory neural. So as we can see, ang conductive and sensory neural ay mayroong pagkakaibahan at malaking may pagkakaibahan. So the number 3 is the mixed hearing loss. Okay. Ito naman yung mixed hearing loss is the combination both of conductive and sensory neural hearing loss. So ano nga ba yung combination of both? So therefore, if conductive hearing loss is the only function here is the inner ear, while the sensory neural hearing loss, the only function is the outer in the middle ear. Here in mixed hearing loss is the 3 can't function. So therefore, inner, outer, and middle, hindi po yung nagpa-function. Okay, yun po yung mixed hearing loss. So, it can be requiring both combination of treatment for the conductive part and hearing aid for the permanent or sensory neural part. So, it can be treatable naman, but in the step-by-step, so the first, pwede po siya medical treatment only in conductive, and then the sensory neural. So, the mixed hearing loss is combination both conductive and sensory neural. Okay, the number 4 or the last one is the central hearing disorder. Ano nga ba itong central hearing disorder? So if the 3 we've mentioned earlier, the 3 parts of hearing loss is only focus on the 3 parts of our ear, which is the inner, outer, and the middle, Here naman, the central hearing disorder is caused by dysfunction in the brain's ability to process and interpret sounds. So, ano nga ba ito? So, even though the three types of our is function, but our brain can process to interpret sounds. So, therefore, wala tayong marireceive na something na may maririnig natin. So, we can't receive our ability to interpret sound. So, caused by dysfunction and rather the problem with ears themselves. So, walang problema yung ear natin, but also our brain can process. So, mapakita natin dito na itong green na type, so ito po yung nakakonect sa ating brain. So, yan po yung types na hindi po pumapunction, yung something cells or beans na hindi po pumapunction. So, yan po yung main causes of central hearing disorder. Okay, so ano nga ba yung four types of hearing loss? So, number 1 is conductive hearing loss. So, dito is our inner ear is can't function. Sensory neural hearing loss is, dito naman po yung our inner ear nerve impulses caused by damage. So, severe, it is severe and permanent. So, MEX is combination of conductive and sensory neural hearing loss. And central is something our ear can process, our brain, or the ability to can process the sound. Okay. So, next, it is useful to know that the sound is measured by its, okay, first, loudness or intensity. So, it is important to measure that in order for us because too much loudness or intensity can damage our eardrum. So, it is measured by decibels or the signs of dB, frequency or pitch. So, generally, who cannot hear sounds less than 90 decibels are considered deaf. So, for the purposes of educational placements. Okay. So, as we can see, this is the decibel scales. Okay, ito. So, the first dB. Okay, here in 19 dB, ito yung key line natin. Ito yung line natin na ma-consider natin this person na it is hearing impairment or deaf. So, 90 dB. So, here is the hair dryer. So, bakit nga ba hair dryers? Kasi sometimes, makikita natin dito na mas something na mas malaki pa man yung tunog ng helicopter or something truck. So, syempre, hair dryer is dito natin sa ear. So, even though na ginaganyan natin sa buhok natin, syempre, maririnig talaga natin kasi malapit sa tainga natin. So, kapag hindi natin yung maririnig less than 90, so therefore, a child considered as deaf. Ma-consider siya as deaf. Okay, so next is impact on learning. So, the impact on learning is it can impact in social communication barriers. Okay. So, the main reasons talaga, siyempre, if something's not, it can't hear, mahirapan talaga sila makipag-socialize. Kasi sometimes, our peers, makisocialize tayo sa peers, siyempre, sometimes hindi po sila marunong use the sign language. So, diba? So, mahirapan talaga sila makipag-communicate. So, the main reason is socializing people. Next is intelligence. Okay. Those hearing impaired have the normal cognitive ability. As well, same lang din po sa atin, yung normal sa atin. But, the only problem here is difficulties in language, not by thinking. Kasi nga, hindi nila maririnig kung ano yung nais nilang ipaabot or something that they utter the words. So, yun po, no? Yung something na may impact talaga sa learning. So, okay, for example, in our class. So, if our children hindi po nila maririnig, so you as a teacher or future teacher is, we need to find those different teaching strategies in order for them to learn. So, okay, so later on, we tackle on that. Next is speech and language. Okay, so the speech and language, it is the most affected area, especially for those born deaf. Okay. So, bakit nga ba itong speech and language? Kasi nga, sa tainga naman, hindi naman siya sa speech impaired. Okay. Ito yung main causes. Kasi nga, as we can see, as we mentioned earlier, their brain can process the words because they can't hear it. Hindi po nila maririnig kung ano yung pinaparinig sa kanila or ano yung nais nila na isabi kasi nga hindi mahirapan sila mag-interpret sa isang mga bagay kung ano yung nais nila iparating. So the next is education. May delayed academic achiever due to the reliance on spoken or written language. Ito na nga. So, kumbaga hearing education, it is the broadest or general in terms because these three is can impact in education. So, makita natin sa impact is totally na masasabi natin na makaka-epekto sa pag-aaral ng isang estudyante. Okay, in teaching strategies, student with auditory impaired receive special education support from team of trained professional. Okay, ito naman, syempre, the government work on it in order for them to be learner-centered when it comes to education because some student na those with disabilities, syempre, they have the rights to access the quality of education. So therefore, government find a way in order for them to acquire knowledge as well as na may matutunan sila and also it can prepare them into the various different aspects of life. So number one is the audiologist. From the word itself, audio. So professional who diagnose, treat, and manage individual with hearing loss. Ito naman yung mga audiologist. Ito yung mga diagnose or nag-treat ng mga children with disabilities. Okay, so for example, may pinag-aralan nila yan. So, madidiagnose nila or masasabi nila kung ano yung mga main reasons kung bakit may mga students with diagnosed treat managed individuals with hearing loss. The number one is teacher of hearing impaired. Okay, ito naman, trained educators. So these educators is mainly focused on hearing impairment. So pinag-aralan talaga nila including the behaviors, the main reasons, the background of the students in order for them to provide and support the students, the family, and other educators in order for them to acquire, in order for them to provide the same access of education. So ito yung mga teachers na to is pinag-aralan talaga nila, pinagandaan talaga nila. So saludo tayo sa mga teachers na ganito kasi nga hindi madali magturo yung mga children with disability. Mahirap nga kasi magturo nga kompleto. Ano na lang kaya kung students with disabilities. So the next one is the speech language pathologist. Okay, the speech from the word itself, speech language. So they provide treatment, speech and language difficulties. So siguro dito nabibigyan ng mga pagkakataon ng mga bata na matutunan or paano nila the way sila magsalita, the way they delivered words, the way they mention every letter. So para matutunan yung mga bata kung paano yung magsasalita even though in a language children with language difficulties. Interpreters. So the last one is interpreters. Okay, this is common because nga trained educators provide education support for the student. So interpreters, syempre, the use by the sign language. So sometimes hindi naman tayo lahat pinag-aralan kung paano intindihin yung sign language. So may isang person na nagtuturo kung paano nga ba paano intindihin and then sign language niya by the interpreters and to provide the information as well as sa mga estudyante. And then the next one is the assistive technology. Okay, here in the modern technology helps students access with hearing impairments, access learning more effectively in general curriculum. Okay, it is helpful kasi nga in assistive technology is mapagaan or may something na may chance na ma-acquire nila yung mga knowledge na it can be both na maari nilang ma-experience yung kung ano yung as a normal person na ma-experience natin. Okay, there are 6 types assistive technology. Okay, the first one is the hearing aids. Okay, based sa picture na nakikita natin, there are 4 types of hearing aids. So there are great variety hearing aids but all are intended to amplifying a sound. Okay, so it is helpful kasi we considered it as the common or well-known types of devices used by the individuals with hearing impairment. So it is important sa mga hearing impaired, nakakatulong po ito para makakarinig sila kasi nga may mga devices na kumukonect yung nakakonect rekta sa ating brains patungo pa sa ating inner ear para makonect yung mga naririnig nila. So the device is makakatulong po ito. It is most useful devices sa mga hearing impairment. And then the next one is the software devices. So there are many software programs for students with hearing impaired. Okay, so itong mga device naman ito is nakakatulong ito to provide speech drills auditory training, sign language instruction, and language instruction. So dito, makikita natin, okay, for example, dito sa paralan, kasi nga may makikita tayo na iilan sa mga kabataan is mahirap makapag-focus. So, including those students with disabilities. Kasi nga, mahirapan sila for example, ito, yung hearing impaired. So, hindi natin alam na may problema pala sa hearing loss nila. So, these technologies help them in order for them to it's simple na makakarinig sila. So, it is useful, no, the mga software devices para makakatulong sa kanila upang makarinig kahit man lang na may mga bagay na hindi talaga totally para sa kanila. Next one is the alerting devices. Okay, it is alerting devices. It not only hindi lang ito makikita in public places. For example, sa traffic light. Okay, so traffic light is may nilalagay po sila sa traffic light only those with those children with disabilities. So you need to download the apps, register ka doon para if maka-download ka doon, magpalapit ka sa paglapit mo doon, they provide the alert or signals to individuals. So kasi nga nandyan na sa iyo yung something na technologies or devices. So nag-provide po sila yung alarms na something na ganito na ganyan. So and then the next doorbells and other signal for alert the device. Okay, so it is common, no? The next one is captioning. As we can see in the picture that I put here, so watching movies with subtitles. Ini-imagine lang natin na nanonood tayo ng mga movies na hindi natin maintindihan na walang subtitles. Even though maririnig natin yung sinasabi nila, pero hindi natin maintindihan. So ganun lang din yung feeling na hindi natin even though na those children with disabilities na makikita nila, hindi pa sila nakarinig, hindi na rin nila maintindihan. So walang captioning or something that subtitles or pinaprovide nila. So closed captioning may television from accessibles for individuals. So closed captioning, even though nga tayo minsan na sinasabi natin ito na pag natin is it's very helpful for us na captioning para maintindihan po natin yung kung ano yung pinapanood natin. Okay, the last one is hindi pa siya last. Telecommunication devices. So, itong telecommunication devices is in order for individuals with hearing impairments to communicate using the telephone, may use telecommunication device for deaf or TTD. Also, TTD also known as telecommunication device for the deaf. So, it's a small keyboard with display in modern. Ito po yung makikita natin, ito po yon. So, in-encode nila yan kung anong nais nila iparating, and then automatically send yan doon sa automatically send na yan. And then, pag mag-send na yan, it is, kumbaga, pag-send doon is voice na yung makarating doon. So, yun po yung telecommunication devices. The last one is cochlear implant. So, cochlear implant, from the word itself, implant is surgically implanted device. So, as we can see here in the picture, so taas banda ng tainga natin, so doon yung transmitter. So, doon inooperahan or surgically process. And then, connected to in our hearing nerve. So, therefore, our hearing nerve is, ito po yung receiver ng, pag-receive ng, kumbaga nakakonect doon. So, ito po yung cochlear implant. Transmitter, and bone, muscles, fat, and receivers. So our inner and outer ear is not totally function here. Okay, so a quick recap about about our topic, which is the hearing impairment. So there are 4 types of major hearing loss: conductive hearing loss, sensory neural hearing loss, mixed hearing loss, and central hearing loss. So when you say conductive, damage or blockage in our outer or middle ear. Sensory neural naman, it is damaged by our inner ear. So conductive, it can be temporary or treatable, where the sensory neural is severe and permanent. So the conductive main causes, it can be fluid, allergies, foreign objects, ruptured eardrum, impacted earwax. While the sensory neural is, ito makikita natin, tumors, loud noise, ototoxicity. So it can be both causes genetic disease, virus disease, or infection. The next one is mixed hearing loss, combination of conductive and sensory neural hearing loss. The last one is the central hearing disorder. It is our brain's ability can't process or interpret the sounds, rather problem with ears themselves. So dito walang problema yung ear natin, but the problem here is our brain can process or can't interpret a sounds. So yung decibel scale natin, the only 90 decibels less than 90 decibels considered a depth the purpose for educational placement. Impact on learner, social intelligence, speech language education. So teaching strategies including audiologists, teachers of the hearing impaired, speech language pathologists, interpreters. So it can be both in modern technologies. Assistive technology includes hearing aids, software devices, alerting devices. So alerting, yung provide alerts, captioning, it most common sa television, yung mga subtitles. Telecommunication device, ito yung parang phone na ini-encode lang and then automatically send with the voice. Kumbaga voice na yung nagasend doon. Ang cochlear implants, ito yung surgically process na inalagay sa ating ear. So, okay, let's proceed into the visual impairments. So, ano nga ba yung visual impairments? So, from the word itself, visual. Any visual condition that impacts individual's ability to successfully complete the activities of everyday life. Okay, so, ikaw, ano yung sa pakiramdam mo, di ba? Siyempre, you have the visual impairment or something na, okay, we considered as you na hindi talaga makakita or totally visual impaired. So, di ba wala? Even though masasabi natin na kumpleto pa man, so, visual impairment condition is ability to successful na makakapekto talaga sa ating pang-araw-araw. To be declared legally blind, individual must have acuity of 20 or over 200 or less, have restricted vision of 20 degrees or less. Okay, there are three classification system of visual impairment. So, the three classification include low vision, functionally blind, and totally blind. In low vision, students use their vision as their primary channel. So, ano nga ba yung primary channel? So, vision be include blurry, cloudy, dim, or narrow. So, makikita natin ito sa picture. So, the first one is, kumaga, hayag ayawa. Diri naman, it's totally blurred or something narrow or dim na makikita natin cloudy. So, yan yung pagpagiba ng low vision, narrow or dim na makikita natin cloudy. So, yan yung pagpagiba ng low vision. Kumaga, ang low vision is ano yung malapit lang makikita natin. So, hindi na tayo makikita sa malayo. That's well considered as the primary channel. So, kung ano yung malapit, yun lang po yung totally na makikita natin. So, yun pong considered as the low vision. Okay, the next one is functionally blind. Term used for people who have very little or no usable vision for daily tasks, even though they may still have sight, light perception, or limited sight. So, ito yung functionally blind naman na hindi naman sila totally blind, but something that hindi nila it's not a very useful in order to them to use the visual usable vision for daily tasks. So dito makikita natin na nahihirapan sila, but they are not totally blind. Okay, the next one is totally blind. Okay, itong totally blind naman, makonsider natin na totally blind talaga. Hindi sila makakita. It's because nga it's main reason na sa kapanganak nila or something that person has no light perception at all. So it means hindi na talaga sila makakita. It is totally blind. Okay, so the brief recap of the classification system: low vision, functionally blind, and totally blind. Low vision is the use their primary channel. It can be blurry, cloudy, dim, or narrow na makikita nila. And then the functionally blind naman, ito yung something na okay, for example, dito sa functionally blind is yung needle na mas maliit, so hindi po talaga makikita yon. So it is functionally blind na hindi naman sila totally blind, but hindi po may something na they have the very little or no usable vision. Totally blind, from the word itself, totally, wala talaga silang makikita. So okay, let's proceed to the other classification exists based on the advent of the visual itself. Okay, let's proceed to number 1 is the congenital. So congenital is occurs during fetal development or at birth or immediately after birth. So after congenital is considered as makonsider natin na nakaka-apekto rin ito, or it can be sa genes talaga nila. So it occurs during fetal development at birth or immediately after a birth. So yun po yung congenital. And then the next one is adventitious. So adventitious or occurs after having normal vision either through hereditary condition or trauma. So adventitious, it can be ma-acquire nila hereditary, from the word itself, hereditary conditions or sa trauma. So as you can see, from the word itself, trauma, it's nakaka-apekto din pala sa having a vision impaired. So bakit nga ba nakaka-apekto dito? It's kasi nga sa ating brain may something na makaka-apekto ito. It's because having a normal vision, it's either it may cause a lot of causes or certain causes na makaka-apekto ito. Okay, so impact on learning, it is limited ability to learn. So kasi nga hindi tayo makakita, so limited lang po talaga yung ma-acquire natin knowledge. Sabi nga nila, all senses, visual senses is the most important thing in order for us to learn. Even though maririnig po natin yan, even though mahawakan natin, but when often see at things, ma-remember at maalala din natin ng different context. So by the process of visual is the most important na para sa atin, para may matutulaman natin. So the next one is other senses may not fully replace vision. So yun na nga sinabi ko, even though na makakita natin, madidinig natin, or mahawakan natin, it can may not fully replace vision or vision impairment. So iba yung mga bagay na ma-visualize natin kaysa sa maririnig lang natin. So need ko na skills and adaptive techniques. Okay, ito naman talaga it is most important or crucial when it comes to learning by something visual impairments, because dito ma-acquire natin yung mga skills. Kailangan natin ma-acquire yung mga different skills and strategies or techniques in order for us to learn the same way for those normal persons. The next one is low motivation to explore and interact. So kasi nga wala tayong makikita, so paano tayo ma-motivate? Paano tayo makahanap ng mga something na maka-trigger sa atin? Kasi nga wala tayong makikita. So the next one is needs a direct instruction to understand environment and relationships. So kailangan nating direct instruction kung ano yung gawin, step by step, objectives, ito yung gawin. Kasi nga wala silang makikita. So kailangan nila may mga step by step, kumbaga, para in order for them na makakatulong sa kanila kung ano yung gawin at ano yung tama at hindi dapat gawin. Okay, so teaching strategies for student with visual impairments. Okay, ito yung mga teaching strategies na. Okay, number 1, use of multi-sensory instruction. Ano nga yung multi-sensory instruction? It can be touching, hearing, movement to reinforce learning. So it can be all senses ginagamit talaga, except for visual kasi nga hindi sila makakita. So by the use of touching, by the use of hearing, ito yung most important na makagain silang ng knowledge. It's because kapag natuturo tayo as a future educators, we need to adapt different teaching strategies in order for student to learn in different way. Because they as a student, we acquire different knowledge na kailangan nila. Ano yung dapat natin gawin para may matutunan sila? Ano yung dapat na strategies natin in order for them na regardless of their disabilities, may mga motivation sila na alang-alang naman sa kanilang kapasidad. The next one is teaching strategies or direct and explicit instruction. So, teach concept clearly and step-by-step procedures. So, yun na nga sinasabi ko kanina, they need to provide different steps or different procedure directly because they don't need na something na ginagamit natin na may metacognition. So, dito, mapapansin natin na they need the step-by-step procedures para mas maintindihan nila kaysa sa ma-visualize nila kasi nga hindi sila makakita. So, explanation between people, objects, and the environment. So, anong dapat nila gawin? Ganito, ganyan. So, it is most helpful in hearing impairments. And teaching strategies, adapted materials, and technology. So, provide braille, large print, audio materials. So, ito yon yung mga materials technology is matatakil natin in assistive technology mamaya. Okay, so let's proceed in assistive technology. So there are three major types. So computer-based technology, adaptive device, and optical devices. Okay, the first one is computer-based technology. So it is the software and devices connected to the computer to make a text or images easier to read, hear, or feel. Okay, so computer-based technology, it is most helpful sa mga student, not only to those disabilities, even though tayo, mga normal people, makakatulong talaga yung mga computer-based technology in order for us na mapadali yung mapagawa natin. So, the number one is the Braille translation software or equipment. So, the Braille is converts the print. So, print yan to convert into the vice versa. It can be mahawakan nila, something touch nila. So, mamaya makikita natin kung ano po yung mga types nito. The next one is the Braille printer or embosser. So, produce Braille from computer files. So, itong Braille printer embosser is nag-provide na something na printable and then in the paper na something matouch nila and then ma-recognize nila kung ano yung letter na yon. So, later on, makikita natin. The next one is screen readers. Convert text on screen to speech. Okay. For example, ito po yung may nakasulat po dito. May something na, for example, ito po yung screen reader. Kapag ginanyan nila, itong screen reader na to is magsasalita para kung ano po yung nakasulat sa text doon. For example, ganito, pag sulat tayo ganito, and then automatically magsasalita na ito ganito. So mamaya makita natin. So ito na, so this is the Braille translation software. So parang ganito, parang printable tapos makakuha nila. And then the next one is the Braille printer embosser. Pag pinaprint nila yan, may something na ma-touch nila and then they're going to identify it, what letter is it. So, yun po yung Braille printer or embosser. And then screen reader po, ito po yung parang screen reader na kapag nilagay nila sa text, it's automatically na magsasalita yung devices. Okay, so maintindihan. So, the next one is the adaptive devices. So, ano nga ba yung adaptive devices? Special tools that help students with visual impairments perform tasks independently. So, okay. So, number one is the Braille note takers. So, it is portable electronic device for note taking. For the word itself, note taking is which can be print or embossed Braille. So, it is similar, partly similar into the Braille transition software. The next one is optical character readers or OCR. It converts printed text to digital files to speech for Braille output. So, kapag nakikita nila, converted printed text into the digital files. So, is it automatically converted? So, parang, ano din siya, parang screen readers. So, it is partly similar into screen readers. Talking calculators, perform calculation with voice output. Okay, so kapag it is, maintindihan naman natin no, kung ano yung talking calculator kasi nga, pag ganito, pag pinot nila ganyan, magsasalita po yun para ma-identify nila. So, ganito yon, ito yung Braille note takers. So, mapapansin ninyo, is it automatically na may something dot dyan, parang sila lang yung makatindi kung ano yan. it can be changed into the letters or something words na ma-identify nila. And then ng OCR, also known as the optical character readers, parang ano din siya, parang screen readers or screen readers, braille screen readers. So it's partly similar talking calculator. Okay, the last one is the optical devices. When we see the optical devices, special tools that help students with visual impairments. It can be perform tasks which the use of their visual. So optical, it can be include closed circuit television, CCTV. So that's what the help of optical devices. Magnifier, so parang magnifying lens, telescope helps view distant object. So nakakatulong ito para mas mapadali or hindi sila mahirapan na the tools na makakatulong sa kanila sa araw-araw nilang gawin. Okay, so a brief recap about visual impairments. Okay, so visual impairments is the big condition that impacts individuals successfully into our daily lives. Okay, so there are three classification, also known as the low vision, functionally blind, and totally blind. Ang low vision, the key points here is the use primary channel. It can be blurry, cloudy, dim, or narrow. Functionally blind term for use very little or no usable vision for daily tasks. So may mga tasks na hindi sila, kumbaga, they can't work it independently. So totally blind, if on the word itself, totally, they can considered as wala sila talagang makikita. So other classification exists based on the advent is congenital, occurs during fetal development or at birth. Adventitious is it can be both hereditary or trauma. So impact on learning. So ayun, the impact of learning is a lot of impact learning can be possessed to those with visual impairment kasi nga mas mahirapan sila. So teaching strategies, number one is use multisensory instruction, promote different teaching strategies in order for them to acquire knowledge na mas mapadali yung for example, tactile materials such as raised map, braille, and manipulatives. Direct and explicit instruction, provide step-by-step procedure, provide information directly, and then adapted materials and technology. So assistive technology, there are three types, include computer-based technology, adaptive devices, and optical devices. Ito naman yung computer-based technology, they use different technology na it is useful. So this include example, braille transition, software equipment, braille printer, and screen reader. So ito yung may something technology na ginagamit nila in order sa mga those disabilities na maka-acquire ng knowledge. Adaptive devices, the key points here, the impairment perform tasks independently. So para ano man lang kahit independently. So the next one is the optical devices. So optical from the word itself, optimist, or sa mata talaga, mga device na ginagamit. So special tools students perform a task with different signals. So a brief recap about visual impairments. Okay, so visual impairments is the big condition that impacts individuals successfully into our daily lives. Okay, so there are three classification, also known as the low vision, functionally blind, and totally blind. Ang low vision, the key points here is the use primary channel. It can be blurry, cloudy, dim, or narrow. Functionally blind term for use very little or no usable vision for daily tasks. So may mga tasks na hindi sila, kumbaga, they can't work it independently. So totally blind, if on the word itself, totally, they can considered as wala sila talagang makikita. So other classification exists based on the advent is congenital, occurs during fetal development or at birth. Adventitious is it can be both hereditary or trauma. So impact on learning, so ayun, the impact of learning is a lot of impact learning can be possessed to those with visual impairment kasi nga mas mahirapan sila. So teaching strategies, number one is use multisensory instruction, promote different teaching strategies in order for them to acquire knowledge na mas mapadali yung mga, for example, tactile materials such as raised map, braille, and manipulatives. Direct and explicit instruction, provide step-by-step procedure, provide information directly, and then adapted materials and technology. So assisted technology, there are 3 types, include computer-based technology, adaptive devices, and optical devices. Ito naman yung computer-based technology, they use different technology na it is useful. So this is include example, braille transition, software equipment, braille printer, and screen reader. So ito yung may something technology na ginagamit nila in order sa mga those disabilities na maka-acquire ng knowledge. Adaptive devices. The key points here, this impairment perform tasks independently. So para ano man lang kahit independently. So the next one is the optical devices. So optical from the word is optimist or sa mata talaga, mga device na ginagamit. So special tools students perform a task with different signals. So closed circuit television, CCTV para makita ko yung ano nila. And then magnifiers, it is most commonly talaga magnifiers if something may low vision or something na mas mahina yung low vision nila. Okay, so today dahil sa video lang po ito, hindi tayo makakapag tanong or may metatanong man kayo. So don't hesitate to message me directly na may something katanungan kayo about my PowerPoint, kasi nga hindi kayo makapagtanong or something reaction, wala tayong magawa. Pero message lang ako kung may katanungan kayo about regarding sa my reports. And this is my end of report, so the rest is reported my partner.